Hello, fellow creators, my fellow entrepreneurs, those of you who are self-employed or well on that path to becoming self-employed independent, as I have been over the past 20 years or so. Every day, or at least every weekday, I try to stream a topic live, answering a question that you may have, or even if you didn't have it, you may be curious as to my response. And today, I thought I would talk a bit about how to get motivated when you're feeling unmotivated. Don't feel off if this is your state, where you are mentally today. Not feeling like you want to do anything, because that's kind of normal. That's not to say that, you have to go through cycles, because everyone's going to be different. But certainly, you're going to have up days and down days. But what about those extended periods of time when you just don't feel like you want to do anything at all? Because reasons, whatever those reasons happen to be, because they could be wide and varied in terms of the reason why you're not feeling like you want to do something. How do you get over that hump? There are many ways you can get over the hump, and I want to kind of talk through how I get motivated when I am feeling unmotivated, when I know I've got to do something. I back away. I change my scenery. I approach the situation in not approaching the situation. And you're thinking to yourself possibly, what is he talking? How can you actually do it? If you're feeling unmotivated, how do you get motivated? Well, sometimes you have to push yourself. And by pushing yourself, I'm saying push yourself away. Give yourself a little bit of time, a little bit of perspective. And sometimes when we're sitting on top of that which we're dealing with, our creations, our business, our endeavor, whatever you want to call it, we're too close. And sometimes being too close to a situation can cloud our judgment, cloud our perspective. Knowing full well that we have to do a million things. Granted, that's probably hyperbolic, right? I'd imagine you don't have a million things to do. But knowing that when you just feel like you can't take care of everything, when you're sitting right on top of everything, is going to be overwhelming. So you have to effectively lift that overwhelming feeling. You have to look beyond the problem, beyond the situation, beyond your creation or your endeavor to be able to go back to it. So by pushing yourself away, you have a chance to look at it from a different angle instead of being in it. That's why it's recommended that if you are someone who's like me, self-employed, you work at home, you play at home, everything's happening at home. I'm a homebody. That's the way it is. If I'm wanting to do something and just feel like when I'm doing it, it's not fulfilling, I step away from it. And sometimes for extended periods of time until I have a chance to process. And that chance to process doesn't usually happen when I'm wrapped up in the process. It usually happens when I'm away, not even thinking about that which I'm not motivated to do. Until I think, I wonder if I did it this way. Yeah, if I did it this way, then maybe that would happen. And maybe I could try it differently. And that's usually all it takes. Trying to accomplish the same goal differently. Because if you're unmotivated to do that thing, it could very well be in how you've been trying to do the thing. Maybe you're mired in these heavy processes, and that's what keeps you from wanting to do it again and again. Maybe you've lost that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling. See, I was just feeling like I would sing. That is a bad idea. I'm never going to do it again in this video. I may actually decide to sing again though at some point in the future, in another video. Probably not though. I don't do singing. So I kind of ruined that for you. I'm sorry to bust the illusion. Maybe it's something where you're not as fulfilled as you used to be with what it was or what it is that you aim to create. And that speaks to potential life changes that you're not in control of. It could speak to certain industry changes that you're not in control of. Either way, by attacking the problem in the same fashion over and over and over again and expecting that you're going to get remotivated just by going through the motions, I'm not so sure that's going to be as fruitful as effectively stepping away. And maybe that's a physical thing. Maybe that's just more of a metaphor. But effectively removing yourself from that which you're unmotivated to do could bring about another kind of feeling that would lead you to, I guess, a newer process that would bring back that motivation. And there are different reasons to get motivated. You get motivated because it pays the bills. You get motivated because other people depend on you. You get motivated because X, Y, or Z. You name the reason. Like I said, there's the umpteen reasons why you may be motivated or unmotivated to do something. But as I've discovered, I need to give sometimes I need to give an idea breathing room instead of just being wrapped up in it, and then kind of find a new groove. And when I find that new groove, I'm very often surprised and become motivated again to do it, because the thing that I was having a problem with possibly was mitigated by trying something differently. Don't get caught up, as I've said, many times, don't get caught up in the how to do something, in the way that something's done, in the way that something's always done, as much as you should get caught up in the goal of having done something to achieve. That is to say, and I realize that was probably not the more comprehensive or the most cohesive way of saying it, or the most cogent way of explaining it, but effectively, be goal-oriented. Don't necessarily be task-oriented. Look at the goal. And the goal isn't necessarily to get motivated again. You being motivated helps you accomplish the goal. But if you're so caught up in the, I need to do it step 1, 2, 3, you may lose sight of the goal. And if you lose sight of the goal, it wouldn't surprise me that you will have lost motivation. There are many, many factors that could play into it, but you kind of have to, maybe even take stock and to recognize, why is it that you are trying to accomplish the goal? Why is that goal something that you can be motivated to do day in and day out? Because that's kind of what you do as a creator. That's what you do as an entrepreneur. That's what you do as an independent. You are driving your own goals. You are driving your own tasks. You are in charge of yourself. And if you're not able to stay motivated to accomplish your goals, the way that you are potentially more able to get remotivated is by finding a new way of doing it. And you find a new way of doing it by not being caught up in it as much as you might be giving yourself a little bit of distance, some breathing room to breathe and say, you know what? I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to try to accomplish my goal this way. I'm breathing. And wow, you never know. You could get remotivated. You could find new goals and a new happiness. You never really know. But if you're in it, I don't think you're going to find an easy path to getting remotivated, because all you're going to do is just reinforce that lack of motivation, and it's going to weigh you down. So free yourself of the shackles that are weighing you down. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Hopefully a little bit of this made sense to you. That's how I get remotivated or find new motivation altogether when I'm feeling unmotivated. I have different goals than you have. One of the goals I had today was to do this video live. I didn't have a goal of singing during the video, but it happened. What are you going to do? It was live. I love you. I appreciate you. I will tell you that if you want more personalized advice, maybe you want to give me your situation, and ask, well, how could I work through this? And this is the problem I'm currently having. I'd be happy to offer more personalized advice to you, kind of like a consulting thing. CreatorAdvocate.com is where you could go. I would really appreciate it if you did support the endeavor that way. CreatorAdvocate.com. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.